Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Hey everybody, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a water scene in the Unreal Engine. So, by water scene, I should probably say ocean scene, but let's go ahead and let's create a new level. Anyway, let's go ahead and create the default map here, and you can go and see that we have a nice looking sky, etc. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to add in a landscape. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this is our ocean. Okay, so here we go. We have our ocean here, 8 by 8. Just go ahead and push create, and look at that. We have a nice looking ocean. Okay, so first of all, there's a couple things that we need to look at. But first is the seams, which we'll deal with later. And second is we can do a little bit of a better job with this. Okay, so let's go to manage. Let's go create a new one here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make a 1 by 1, and we're going to add in a rock. Okay, and we're going to make it, you know what, just make it this rock. I think that looks pretty good. But what I do want to do is I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and push create. And you're going to see that the landscape here, and we have to hop out of select mode here, but this landscape here, we need to move up ever so slightly. And you can also see that the well, the shaders are still working here. So nevertheless, let's go and let's make this here. And as much as I like that rock, let's change it to something else. All right, let's do the material. Let's do this basalt rock. That looks a lot better. So let's hop back into our landscape here. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically move up this landscape here. And what we're also going to do, I think that's actually all you need. Just move it up here. Of course, you could spend more time, but what I'm going to do actually is make sure that this landscape here, and there we go, is in the ocean. All right, so that's all we're going to do. If we really want to, we can go back into our landscape here and maybe change the brush size a bit and push Control Shift to move this down to make this more of a oblonged island. One of the recommendations I always get, or one of the things one of the best pieces of advice I always get is that, like, you know, if you take the extra time to just make something a little bit irregular and not standard, that looks pretty good. Anyway, we're going to be doing some other things here with this, so let's just go ahead, and I think we need to hop back into the select here, select both of these landscapes here, and where is that little pin? And nevertheless, let's move both of these down. There we go. We're just going to move this down so we can see. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then let's select this and scale it down a little bit more. So basically we now have an island, and that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I move this down like so. All right, so there we go, and we now have this island here. Okay, so in this little platform, and if we really want to, we can make this its own. Let's make it something completely out of the random here. Let's make it gold here. And actually, that looks kind of cool. Looks kind of shiny here. Okay, but we're not actually done here. Gold might be the worst one here. Maybe steel. You can add it in like a different kind of rock. You know what? Rock here, marble, slate. Yeah, let's make it slate. There we go. Different kind of rock. Okay, but there's another problem here. You can see that there's seams. So how do I fix that? Very simple. Go to the skylight, switch it to stationary, and there you go. You can see that, well, you now have a nice looking ocean here. And I can't remember if the landscape, did I say that's this landscape here? And what you might want to label this, so landscape, we'll call this rock, like so, and then this one here, we'll call landscape water. And let's actually change this to the ocean. All right, and there we go. That's starting to look a lot more like we're on a little island in the ocean. Okay, but we're not done yet. There's a lot of other things we need to do. So let's kind of zoom out here, and let's go into our starter content, and I believe it's in props. Yeah. Okay, let's add in a rock here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to scale this up quite a bit here, and we're also going to move this down like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically copy several of these out here like so. And whenever you copy something out, you always want to change the rotation of it, right? You don't want to make it standard. It's the worst possible thing you can do, and you can make these overlap and move them down a bit, you know. And essentially, you know, we could spend a little bit of time here and make it out here. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to cheat a little bit, and I'm just going to copy this over here and rotate in the sake of time here. You know, again, one of the things you have to understand about game development is the more time you have, right, the better it will be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply copy these over, rotate them like that, and let's go ahead and push play. And as you can see, this is starting to look even more like an island, but there's a few things that, like, for example, this one maybe you need to come down. Likewise with this, move it around. And then once you copy a few things, you can just simply move them, rotate them. Okay, and what I kind of want to do is, you know, kind of game development 101 is if you want to guide the player down in a specific way, you simply do that like this. Kind of just move it down here. And so, you know, you can see that there's kind of a beach here. Okay. There we go. And there we go. So you can see here that we now have a nice looking ocean, and it guides the player back. So let's say if this was, I don't know, a warp zone or something, you could just, let's move that down just a little bit here. Push play, and look at that. All right. And I don't believe there's collisions on these rocks. Yeah. Nevertheless, we now have something that works here. And if you really want to go nuts, we can make even our own little chair scene here, right? And then we got a table. Or actually, you know what would be really good? Okay, so let's bring this statue out here, and I'm going to scale it up. Not that way, this way. Okay, and what I'm going to do is put this submerged in the ocean, and I'm going to scale it up even more. So one of the things you can do is whenever you do something that's unexpected, that's an easy cheat for creativity. And I'm going to say this is gold, and there you go. So as you can see, it's like, there you go. We have this gold statue, right? And if we really wanted to go nuts here, we could actually copy this over once, rotate it here, kind of like the ruins or whatever, and then you know, gold is probably the worst one for this, by the way. Let's submerge it here. So let's say we're in like these ruins here, and actually there's a rust here, but I don't think the rust looks very good, right? I mean, you know, it just doesn't look as good as I'd like it to. Rust. You know, if it was rusty, you know, rust like that here, and then maybe. And then if I, you know, this looks good, but let's do this one more time, and then let's just kind of do it like so. And this guy needs to also be rust. Okay, and so here we go. We have a nice looking kind of scene here. It's like, hey, what's this all about? Well, maybe you could do something cool with that. Okay, so remember, the size and scale of something doesn't necessarily need to be fixed. We you know, just to prove a point, you know, we can make this really as big as we want, and you know, it actually might even be worthwhile to make these almost even different sizes. Okay, so maybe make the middle one bigger. Yeah, I kind of like that. Smaller or something. Okay, there we go. So nevertheless, here's a nice looking water scene. You Also the player has to look up to do that, and that actually gives you a nice looking screenshot. Like if I were to take a screenshot of that, I'm like, hey, look, that looks pretty cool, right? Yeah. Also, if you put things upside down, sometimes that can be funny. Right, so scale everything here, and if we zoom out, that actually doesn't look too bad. Like obviously we missed some of these, so if we were to do like a flying kind of panorama of this, we would have to fill out these rocks here, and it doesn't really take much time. You can just kind of do this down, and then this guy, move it over again, and then move it over again. It really doesn't take much time to do, but you would want to do it, right? You would definitely want to do this and submerge them. And really the base layer of the rock and whatever, like let's move that guy over down a bit, is really just more like filler, just in case you miss something, right? So, isn't there a rock here? Move that up just a bit, and then move this over. And of course, by the way, these rocks are all the same scale. You might want to do a different scale, but nevertheless, I think that looks good enough. You can see that. Move it over just a bit. I might as well scale this one here. I don't want to scale like that though. All right. Good. Okay. So here we go. Nice looking scene. I'm actually quite proud of this. Very, very proud of that. That looks actually really cool. Okay. Awesome. And actually, yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. As of now, this channel is not monetized, so please help us out when it comes to monetization. It does help us out when you like and subscribe us. And if you really like this video, please share it with the Unreal Engine subreddit on Reddit. It really does help us out there. And again, if you really like this video, you can subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Our goal is to get to 10,000 monthly subscribers, and if we get there, that will be fantastic. If we can get there. And we release 20 to 60 hours of fresh new content per month. Unreal Engine tutorials, Blender tutorials, game development tutorials, machine learning tutorials, all these different kinds of tutorials. It's really awesome. We have monthly and yearly options. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.